So you want to start working out and eating healthy, but you're not exactly sure where to start. Maybe you set all these goals for yourself, but then you struggle to stay motivated and disciplined. So you just eventually give up. You want to learn how to take care of yourself and take care of your body as a temple of the Holy Spirit, but you're not really sure how. If that's you today, this video is perfect for you to watch, because today I'm sharing with you 12 fitness lessons I wish I would have known starting out on my fitness journey that have helped me incorporate God into my workouts, feel my best, and overall live a healthy lifestyle that honors God and helps me reach my full potential in the Lord. And I pray it helps you do the same. Hi y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ashley. Today I am so excited to share with you 12 fitness lessons that changed my life. Now, I have been lifting officially for 1 year. I'm coming up on my 1 year anniversary with my trainer, and I thought that it would just be a really good time for me to share some things that I wish that I knew starting out in my fitness journey, and hopefully it can help all of you get started working out and taking care of yourself as well. So I'll start out with where I was, just like a little bit of my story. So I grew up playing sports. I always was an active kid, but then when I went to college, I wasn't playing a sport anymore. And so I would just go to the gym and just do like random workouts. I would do like Kayla BBG workouts, and I would like walk on the treadmill because I saw other people doing that. I was like, okay, maybe I should just do that as well. And I had mac and cheese from the microwave. I would have like the little Chobani yogurts for breakfast. I was underfeeding myself or overfeeding myself by just eating like a ton of junk food. I wasn't sure how to take care of my body outside of the context of sports. And I didn't know how to pursue a wellness journey that also would honor the Lord. Over the past year, I've learned so much about training and fitness. And over the last couple of years, I've learned so much about wellness and how to incorporate God into your wellness journey. I've learned how to move my body consistently and bring God into my workouts, as well as learn how to make myself yummy and healthy meals that are also easy to make. So without further ado, I'm gonna share with you guys some things that I wish I knew before starting my fitness and wellness journey. Number one, focus on consistency over perfection. Now, I will say that sometimes I struggle with perfectionism, and I have this like all or nothing mentality. I used to have this thing where like if I missed a day at the gym, I would just not go all week, and I'd be like, all right, I'm just gonna take the week off. I felt like if I couldn't do something perfectly, I just shouldn't do it at all. But what I've realized is that God actually just wants us to show up. And there's so much fruit to your consistency. It says in Galatians that you reap what you sow. So if you sow taking care of your body, getting good sleep, making yourself healthy meals diligently and consistently, and also going to the gym and working out consistently, you will sow a life where you are healthy, where you feel good, where you look your best. That consistency over time will reap progress. Even if you mess up, like you can always start the next day. Showing up a little bit is better than not showing up at all. Number two, make a workout schedule and commit to it. I found that this really helped for me. On Sunday night, I would look at the week ahead and I would plan my workouts. And then what was so helpful is that when I would wake up that day, even if I felt like I didn't want to move my body or I didn't want to work out, I still had committed to that workout for the day. So I was relying less on my feelings and more on my commitment for that day. My current workout split, I'm going to put on the screen right here, but there's so many times where like I'll plan a run or I'll plan a class and like my body that day is like not wanting to go. But I know that because I made the plan and because I already committed, I just choose to go anyway. And then after I go, I'm always so glad that I pushed through the workout. I'm like never regretting going to a workout. I normally regret not going. Number 3, learn how to make healthy meals at home. So my mac and cheese and my fast food, running out the door with a granola bar, that was just getting me so far. I knew that I needed to learn how to cook healthy meals. And when I tell you my progress in this, my college friends can attest to this. I would make hamburger helper at home. I didn't even really know how to like boil water properly, like was so lost in the kitchen. And I would just let other people cook for me in my house. But senior year of college, I was like, no, I need to learn how to make healthy meals. I need to learn how to actually enjoy eating healthy. So through a lot of trial and a lot of error, I slowly but surely learned how to make healthy but enjoyable meals at home that don't take forever to make. I just took time to experiment in the kitchen with different foods, with different recipes. I would go on Pinterest and I would look up all these recipes that like looked good in the pictures. And then because they look good, I'm like, okay, that's motivation for me to try it. Of course, I had so many failures in the kitchen. Just like anything starting out, you are going to fail so many times. But eventually, like I'm now years after I started my cooking journey, which is 4 years ago is when I started diligently cooking. And I just came out with a cookbook because that's how much I'm obsessed with cooking now. I would say that I hated cooking, and now cooking is one of my favorite things to do. If you are looking for yummy, healthy, and easy recipes to make, I want to encourage you guys to get my cookbook in the description below. I have over 60 plus recipes in there, and I also help you meal plan with my tips and advice on how to start a healthy lifestyle. If you are sick of eating junk food all the time, wanting to eat balanced meals, if you're wanting to feel your best, fuel your body with what it needs, I really encourage y'all to get this book in the description below. And if you make a recipe, make sure to tag me on Instagram at Ashley Hetherington because I want to see what y'all are making. When you step into your cooking journey, you are going to learn how to make healthy recipes that don't take forever to make, that you actually look forward to even more than going to your favorite restaurant or going to get takeout. Number 4, incorporate God into your workouts and cooking. Now, this is something that I discovered, but God doesn't just want to be involved in things like worship and prayer and church and reading the Bible. God wants to be involved in every single thing that we do. Romans 12:1-2 says, "So here's what I want you to do. God helping you. Take your everyday, ordinary life, your sleeping, eating, going to work, and walking around life, and place it before God as an offering." That's Romans 12:1-2 message version. And I love this because God doesn't just want to be in the spiritual things, he also wants to be in everything. So what this looks like for me is when I'm doing my workouts in the morning, like I'm at a Pilates class or I am at, a training session, I will literally pray during my class. I will pray as I'm lifting. I will pray as I'm running. I've actually recorded YouTube videos where I'm praying in my run, and it is wild because I just sense the presence of the Lord so strongly when I'm doing these things. And I'm not even doing like spiritual things, like I'm moving my body, but I still sense the presence of the Lord. Similarly, I'll go on walks where I just talk to God. I just pray and I talk to the Lord. I call these Holy Girl walks. You can also call them prayer walks, whatever, WOG walks, Woman of God walks. But you just go outside and you just share with the Lord what's on your heart. You ask him for help. You thank him. And it's just time to spend with God. But you're also moving your body. I also do this with my cooking. I will pour my Topo Chico with lime and I will turn on my worship music and I will worship the Lord in my kitchen as I'm cooking. And I sense the presence of the Lord. He's so there with me in the kitchen. And I'm making a meal. And even your time as you're eating with your family or your friends who love Jesus, like that can be considered fellowship. So many things that Jesus did that were like holy moments was around the table with his disciples. He was eating. Making food can be holy. Working out can be holy. You can actually make like anything holy if it is brought as an offering to God. 5, reward yourself for being consistent, not hitting results. So I know some of y'all are probably like, well, Ashley, I have weight goals, or I have a goal to look like this, or I have a goal to get to this certain result. And what I will say is, while I support you in your goals, it is very hard for us to be motivated by a result because we can't always hit that result. Like, we won't always have control whether or not we hit that result. We don't know the timeline of when we're going to hit that result. A lot of times hitting that result looks like, oh, you're making all this progress, then you hit a low, and then you make progress, you hit a low. Like, there's no way to really control when you hit a certain benchmark, but you can always control showing up, doing the work that would result in the benchmark. What I found that really helps me with hitting goals and establishing healthy habits is rewarding myself for showing up versus rewarding myself when I hit a benchmark in the future. I'm gonna give you guys this little hack that I've done that really motivates me. So I have a whiteboard and I will write down my habits that I really want to accomplish and really want to be committed to for that month. Cross them off at the end of the night if I did that habit. And then if I hit like 5 of the 7 days of that habit, I will then reward myself at the end of the month, and I will literally like say what I'm rewarding myself with. So one of the habits that I really want to do right now is get good sleep. Something that I'm tempted to do is just like skip out on sleep because I know that I actually can function without it, but I know that in the long haul, it's so bad for me. Every single night, my goal is to get 7 hours of sleep. In the morning, when I know I got 7 hours of sleep the night before, I then put this blue line and it's signified to myself that I hit my goal. And I have other goals that I do this with, but at the end of the month, I have to get myself a coffee machine. If I hit 5 of the 7 days a week for the month, I'm getting myself a coffee machine. You can know that if you hit that goal at the end of the month, you are gonna reward yourself with whatever it is. Then when you wanna skip, you're like, no, if I skip, I'm not gonna be able to reward myself with a coffee machine. These rewards for just showing up and like doing the work, that is going to motivate you so much more than if you only reward yourself when you hit a certain weight goal. We have to reward ourselves and love the process and celebrate showing up to the process versus only hitting results. Number 6, make a meal plan. So at the beginning of my health and wellness journey, I would just go to the grocery store. I would pick out these random fruits and veggies, and then I'd go home and I'd like put it in my fridge. And then I would get to the end of the week and I would have all the produce still in there because I literally did not know what to make that food with. So then I was just wasting money. I was wasting food. And I was also feeling really bad about myself because here I was getting to the end of the week and I had had takeout all week. I'd had junk food all week and I didn't even touch the romaine lettuce in my fridge. And the issue is I did not have a meal plan. And if you want to be successful at anything, you must plan ahead. And the same thing goes for your health and wellness. So this is something that I also include in my cookbook. I help you meal plan and I give you guys an entire doc to help you meal plan. But what I do, I will go into my doc, which I'm including this in the cookbook, and it's my doc of recipes. It's this crazy long doc of recipes. I have my pre-workout recipes, my breakfast recipes, my lunch recipes, my dinner recipes. And what I'll do is I'll look at the week ahead and I'll go, okay, I need to pick out 2 to 3 breakfasts. I need to pick out 2 to 3 lunches from this list. I need to pick out 2 to 3 dinners. So what I'll do, because I'm only cooking for myself and Allie, which is my roommate, I'll then pick those out and then I'll make another doc about like the date and I'll date it with meals. I'll say September 23rd meals. And then I'll put pre-workout breakfast. I'll paste the recipes there. Breakfast. Okay. Paste the recipes there. I'm literally pasting the recipes for the week on this doc only for this week of meals. And then towards the end of the doc, once I've decided my 2 breakfasts, my 2 to 3 lunches, my 2 to 3 dinners. I then will go to the end of the dock and I'll write my groceries. And I'll go into the dock and I'll go, okay, what ingredients do I need to put on my grocery list that I don't have right now for these recipes that I plan to make? What I love about this system that's helped me so much is, one, I am not wasting any food. I know that when I go to the grocery store and I pick up my groceries, I'm actually using those in the recipes that I plan to make for the week. Two, this helps me so much with not going out to eat, because I know, like, I got food for a kelp noodle bowl. If I haven't made it that week, then I know, like, okay, I can't go to Kava because I still have food in my fridge and I need to make my kelp noodle bowl. After all my meals are done and after I've made all my meals on like Saturday or Sunday, I can go to Kava. But I need to be diligent and actually use my ingredients and use the groceries that I got before they go bad. This is just such a good strategic way to make sure that you're planning your grocery list accordingly, actually eating what you get, and you are also like experimenting with new recipes. You're not over planning, you're not under planning. Like, this is also going to be really, really good for you if you have families. I definitely recommend making a meal plan and sticking to it. And again, that's really going to help you through my cookbook. I have just a whole tutorial on it, and I have this doc in there too. Number 7, learn how to make balanced meals. So at the beginning of my health and wellness journey, I was just throwing on a bunch of carbs and a bunch of fats in my meals. I did not know how to build a balanced meal. And when I say carbs and fats, I was just like throwing in sweet potatoes, I was throwing in rice, I was throwing in quinoa, and then I'd also have like avocado. But the issue is I didn't have a good balance of all the macronutrients that my body needed. And so what I found is, even though I was having like good sources of food, I still was not fueling my body properly. So I was having like big crashes, big spikes of energy, and then big crashes for when I would have a lot of carbs in my meals, or I would just end up snacking right after eating because I wasn't like actually full. What I had to learn is that I needed to include different food groups in my meals to make myself feel satisfied after my meal, so that I'm not immediately snacking after, and also that would give me proper energy to get me to my next meal. I have done this system so much to the point where I don't even snack anymore. And I used to be the biggest snacker. When I tell you I would have like multiple granola bars a day because I just never felt full. If you've been around this channel for a while, like, you remember I loved granola bars. But if you properly feed yourself with the different macronutrients that your body needs, you are not going to need to snack. I can also testify, Ali Yost, the girl that I'm living with, my best friend, my roomie, she would snack all day long. She would have chips and guac. She would just like always have snacks on hand. And ever since I started making her balanced meals, like 3 balanced meals a day, she does not snack at all anymore. What I want you to do is, with every single meal, I want you to include 4 different macronutrients. I want you to include a carb, a healthy fat, a protein, and a fiber, or a green. In my cookbook, I include like different amounts of each, but what I usually shoot for is like 30 to 50 grams of carbs per meal, at least 30 grams of protein a meal, 15 to 20, 25 grams of fat per meal. I always have my green in there, and you don't need to measure your green, you just throw it in. But that can help you guys get started out. You're going to be able to feel energized after your meals and feel full for hours on end, so that you don't have to eat before your next meal. Number 8, ask God for the strength to do your workouts. The amount of times that I have asked the Lord to help me finish a run, or I'm like sweating so much in a Pilates class and I'm like, I literally don't think I can finish. And I will just ask the Lord, I'll be like, God, I need your strength. Like, I can't do this. There have been so many days where I have done this, and people probably hear me praying. Like, I'll be like literally praying in tongues. Like, I don't even care. I need his strength to do all hard things, including workouts. I love Philippians 4:13 because it says, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. That's like such a typical cliche athlete verse, but it's actually true. Like, the times where I ask the Lord to help me to finish a run. Anything that just is really, really difficult for me and I'm like, I don't think I can do it, he always helps me finish. Like he always does it. And the Spirit of God will just like give me like this like spirit juice. And I'm just like, wait, how was it so hard for me to do this before I prayed? And now that I prayed, I'm like actually doing it and I'm maybe even enjoying it now. It's because the Holy Spirit wants to give us strength in our weakness, and he is glorified when he strengthens us in our weaknesses. Number 9, exercise won't really help you unless it is also paired with nutrition. So a lot of times I would fall for the lie that like if I was working out, if I was going to the gym, I could also just like eat whatever I wanted and it would be fine. If you're not pairing your working out and your fitness with also what you put in your body, you are not going to really see the progress that you want to see. You need to adequately be fueling your body for the workouts that you do, both pre-workout and post-workout. That's why in my cookbook, I have pre-workout meals and post-workout meals because you need both. Wellness is an all-around thing. Sleeping well will give you the energy to then work out. And when you feed your body with good foods, that also gives you the energy to work out. All of it goes together so well. And you just want to make sure that you're not just paying attention to working out, but you're also paying attention to what you put in your body and also making sure your body rests. Number 10, include habit stacking in your morning routine. So I found that the different habits that I wanted to commit to every day, like working out and having healthy breakfast and reading my Bible in the morning, most of those things I could not get done during the day because I work and my job, I just like would go one thing to the next, the next, the next. And you know, when I was in school, it was the same way. Like you're just busy and you have obligations. With all of that, I found that when I would wake up early and I would make time to include these habits that I wanted to commit to, like I was actually able to hit those habits. Same thing happened when I was writing a book. I just didn't have time to write a book during the day because of busyness, obligations, everything. So I would wake up at 5 a.m. and after spending time with the Lord, I would write for an hour. And doing that every single day, I eventually wrote a book. It's now out in the world. Therefore, if you want to do anything and you want to commit to any habits, I really encourage you to wake up early and to include habit stacking in your morning routine. If you don't know what habit stacking is, it's basically something that I learned from the book Atomic Habits, where it talks about how you can stack one healthy habit on top of the other. You get into the habit of when you do one thing, then the next thing that you do is like another habit. And then slowly but surely, like you're putting these habits on one another that they just become natural. So part of my habit stacking in the morning looks like one, right when I get up in the morning, I make my bed. I then go to the bathroom and I do my skincare and I brush my teeth. Then I go and I make myself a cup of coffee. That then goes into my Bible reading time. Put on my workout set and I work out. That's a habit stack. Then after I work out, I need to fuel myself with a healthy breakfast. That is another habit stack. Then after I make my breakfast, I'm like, okay, time to put on a cute, modest fit. Another habit. So see how I'm habit stacking? But this would not be as easy to do if I was starting my day off at like 10 a.m. Learn how to habit stack in your morning routine. I also have so many morning routine videos on this channel that you can check out that hopefully will help you as well. Number 11, master food swaps. Now, I found that I have quite a sweet tooth. And so I obviously still wanted to take care of my body and not feel awful, like not have a huge sugar crash every time I would eat sugar or dessert. So I found a hack. I found a way to make yummy, healthy treats that won't make me feel awful and they're still gonna help me reach my health and fitness goals. So what that would look like is instead of having like normal cookie dough, I would learn how to make protein cookie dough. 700 calorie, awful for you meal in one dessert. I would then have like a 150 calorie meal that tasted basically the same, but didn't make me feel horrible. This is a food swap, fam. Other food swaps include avocado mayo versus regular mayo, Poppies versus Coke. There's just like so many ways to make healthy treats that won't make you feel awful, and they're going to be better for you in the long haul. This also includes like healthier coffee creamers versus like really, really sugary coffee creamers. I love the coffee creamer brand Nut Pods. When I learned that, I actually looked forward to the healthier alternative recipes that I would make versus like having regular cookie dough or regular waffles. Like, y'all, it just changed the game for me. Number 12, don't compare your fitness journey with others. I think it is so easy to compare our bodies to another person's body, to compare our journey to another person's journey, to maybe be in workout classes and to be like, wow, that girl looks better than me. That girl knows what she's doing more than me. That person looks stronger than me. Like all of that. It is just so easy to compare yourself, even when you go on Pinterest, when you go on social media. Like, you can just be comparing yourself to like literally everyone. And what I want to share with you is a scripture that has really encouraged me with this, because of course I've struggled with this as well. It's Isaiah 29:16. How foolish can you be? He is the potter, and he is certainly greater than you, the clay. Should the created thing say of the one who made it, he didn't make me? Does a jar ever say, the potter who made me is stupid? Ask the Lord to help you see yourself the way that he sees you. This has been a prayer that has genuinely changed the way that I look at myself. And of course, there are days where I do struggle with body image. Of course, there are days where I do struggle with comparison. But in those days, I just have to lift my eyes to the Lord and say, God, I cannot be arguing with the potter. I cannot be arguing with the one who created me. Like, you knew exactly what you were doing when you created my body, when you created my metabolism, when you created my face, when you created like everything about me. Like, you knew what you were doing, and I'm not going to argue with you, and I'm not going to pick apart what you created. It's actually dissing the creator so much when we are not walking in confidence in who God created us to be. God created you and your body beautifully, intentionally, and he wants you to see yourself the way that he sees you. These are just some of the things that I wish I would have known starting out in my fitness and wellness journey. Comment a avocado emoji if you made it to this point in the video. Make sure to follow me on socials at Ashley Hetherington and my Snapchat at Ash Hetherington for more tips and tricks for your wellness and faith journey. And also make sure to grab my cookbook, Holy and Whole, in the description below to help you actually enjoy making healthy, yummy recipes. I love y'all so much. Thanks for watching. And just remember, Jesus loves you more. Mwah!